what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Premium. Up front is a 2.5 liter flat 4 and down below is a CVT. Now I am super excited to be driving this Subaru Crosstrek because this is one of my favorite vehicles on sale and we haven't reviewed a 2025 yet. There are some subtle changes here for the 25 Crosstrek Premium and I'm excited to share with you what those changes are. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. Lastly, huge thank you to Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg for letting me borrow their Crosstrek for today's video. You could browse their inventory down in the description below. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter flat 4. Well, that's new for 2025. It's not a new engine, but it's new here on the Premium. In 2024, you could only get the bigger 2.5 liter engine with the limited or the sport trim level. You could of course also get it on the Wilderness as well. Now they have added it here to the Premium and they didn't raise the price because of that. Very, very nice because the 2.5 liter is definitely the engine that I prefer. It has a lot more oomph around town. It's just a nicer driving experience and I always recommend getting a Crosstrek with that 2.5 liter. Still not speed racer, you know, I'm not an extra in the filming of Ford versus Ferrari, but it's a lot better than the 2 liter. A lot better than the 2 liter. Like I said, paired to it is a CVT. Nothing too crazy here. Crosstrek has always had a CVT unless the previous generation had the manual transmission, but CVT here and it's fine. And last but not least, of course, because it is a Subaru, it is all-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Premium? It's nice. There's a little bit of wind noise, a little bit of road noise for sure. It's not a plush, comfy ride that you would expect out of a Cadillac or something like that, but it's nice, straightforward. I can have a conversation in it. It's not too rough. It's easy to get in and out of, and it's easy to see out of, so it's always been one of my favorite drivers of the recent era. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left is my tachometer and coolant temperature, and off to the right is my speedometer and fuel. Again, we get that information screen in the center. Off to the left, we have our source, skip track, volume, and phone options. And off to the right, we do have our adaptive cruise control. This does offer steering assist. And we have our drive modes for S and I. We have paddle shifters around the back of the steering wheel. Very nice to see that, although the steering wheel itself is this very, very hard plastic, not very premium feeling, but we'll talk more about that in a second. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent and gauge dimmer switch. No power tailgate here on the Crosstrek Premium. And moving on to the door, we have the latch to get in and out, power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we get our standard infotainment system. This isn't anything new for 2025. It was updated last in 2024. We do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and we have our dual zone climate on either side of the radio. So this is the standard radio in the Crosstrek unless you get the base model. If you get the absolute most affordable, cheapest base model you can get, you actually get this weird split screen shown here. This is a 2024 base model, so kind of weird, but this comes on pretty much everything else. I don't love that the fan speed and climate controls are mostly ran through the screen, but you do have physical buttons for the temperature in case you want to change that. Down below, we do have USB-A, USB-C, as well as an aux input. We have a little cubby, and moving into the center, we have the shifter. Very plain, basic shifter here in the Crosstrek Premium. Nothing of note. We also have the power parking brake, our heated seat switches, and cup holders. So we'll do a big freaking bottle test, but like every other Crosstrek, it unfortunately fails. We also do have bottle holders in the door. It unfortunately fails a big freaking bottle test here as well, but something to note. Then we do get a 12-volt outlet, the center console, and the seats. The seats are the big change because for the Premium, it now goes down to the base model cloth seats. If you got a 2024 Premium, you would get leather, or leatherette, they call it StarTex. Here's what those seats would have looked like. Now for the Premium, they opt for the cheaper, flimsier, worse seats. This is a big downgrade for the Crosstrek Premium. Now you have to go up to the Limited if you want the nicer seats. This, of course, was to save money because that bigger, more expensive engine is under the hood and they didn't want to raise the overall price, so the seats were the big sacrifice. I also want to note that this does have option package 14, which Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg has told me is by far their most common package. So it comes with the power seat with lumbar support, blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, automatic emergency steering, heated seats, wipers, and a power moonroof. So, like I said, that is option package 14, and most people opt for that if that's something that you would like. However, speaking of the interior, we do have back seats. So let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Premium, and a couple of things to note. First of all, we do have USB-C as well as USB-A chargers by my right knee, and I fit. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. My head is not hitting the ceiling. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's actually a bubble that kind of goes up over my head, which helps with rear room. So I fit back here pretty fine, and I like that, especially for this size category of car. It's not always a given that I'll fit comfortably in the back, but the Crosstrek gets a big pass. Let's hop around the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Right around the back of the Subaru Crosstrek, as I mentioned, no power lift gate here, but honestly, these struts are fine enough. Once you hit it and lift it a little bit, it'll go up the rest of the way. These are the standard floor mats. We will reserve these for the first owner. We don't seem to get any outlets or anything like that. We do have some tie downs and a giant cup holder right there. But other than that, again, nothing too crazy. We can lift this up as well. Underneath, we do have a spare tire, which is nice to see and not always a given in modern vehicles. So very nice to see all of that around the back of the Subaru Crosstrek. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is a new color for 2025. This is known as Daybreak Blue Pearl. Really, really like it. I think it's an interesting blue color, although I feel like Subaru really tiptoes around just using World Rally Blue on everything. I think the WRX Blue would look good on here as well, but this is a new color of Daybreak Blue Pearl. The overall look of the Crosstrek hasn't changed from 24 to 25, so here it is. This is a Subaru Crosstrek. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Subaru Crosstrek Premium from 2025? Well, I have very mixed feelings. On one hand, I absolutely love that bigger engine is now standard. That makes a huge difference. The other option that you can get for the Crosstrek is a 2-liter flat 4. And honestly, in my opinion, that just doesn't cut the mustard. The 2.5 is definitely what you want. So for that, I love the new Premium. But on the flip side, these seats really are not great. And it feels a little slap in the facey that the previous year got nicer seats, but they took it away for this year. I understand the reasoning behind it, and everyone complains about higher vehicle prices, and Subaru is trying to fight that. They're trying to keep their vehicles in a similar lane year after year, but you can't do that in today's market and economy without losing some features. So unfortunately, the seats did have to get a big downgrade. But at the end of the day, I still really like the Crosstrek. The reason I like it is A, for its size. I think it's a great size, easy to get in and out of because it's a little bit higher up than like the Impreza or especially a BRZ. These cars are extremely capable off-road, and they're affordable. The maxed out wilderness crazy off-road ready trim is still only $34,000. This I believe was like $31,000. Actually, I have it right here. $31,998, so really $32,000. That's not bad in modern day for a brand new car. And I really like that. I like that about the Crosstrek. I've always enjoyed the Crosstrek, and I'm happy to see the updates and upgrades here for 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg for letting me borrow their Crosstrek Premium for today's video. They're absolutely wonderful to work with. I always enjoy filming at Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg, and this is yet another fantastic example. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.